Hi, I'm Leah Emerson. I'm 20 years old and I'm from Texas.
I'm Paulina Gutierrez. I'm 26, originally from Mexico, now live in Wyoming.
I'm Anya Vandenberg, and I'm 18 years old, originally born in South Africa, and now live in Washington.
Currently, we're on a discipleship training school, which is a 5.5 month program with Youth with a Mission. We are partnered with Not for Sale, which is an organization that is out to start a movement to end modern day slavery. Our school consists of two major phases, and Paulina's going to explain that.
First of all, the school first focuses on training us. So the first part of the school was more talking about identity, Bible study, and we also talked about just different tactics to end modern day slavery. The second part was outreach, which we have two outreaches. The first one is in Thailand, which was 7 weeks, which we just got back from. And in 2 weeks, we're going to be leaving on our second minor outreach, which is based in Australia. And we're going to be just telling different churches and just different organizations about what we learned as far as human trafficking in the country of Thailand.
So we're going to take you guys through the different places that we visited in Thailand and also the different ministries that we were working with.
Our first location in our 7-week outreach was a city called Mesa, and we worked with a ministry called the Agape Children's Home. And we held a camp that was about a week for kids from surrounding villages. We didn't really know much about the kids when we first got there, but later as the week went on, we learned that these kids, the majority are refugees. And not only they were refugees, but they were Karen ethnic people from Burma, which the history of Burma is that they've been living in a 60-year civil war. And this people group, the Karen people, they've been a target of just violence and have just been trying to wipe out this nation, basically. And so most of these kids that we were teaching English to have just been through so much, and so we just had an opportunity not only to give them some sort of skill with the English classes, but to also just really instill value into them and to who they are as kids. And most of these kids already are very mature for their age. They're taking care of their younger brothers and sisters while they were there at the camp. So what we also did during our time in Mesa was we held a night where the parents of these kids could come, and most of them are farmers. And so our intent of the night was to just inform them about human trafficking, because human trafficking can be both caught up in the sex industry, or it could be labor bondage. And many of these farmers are just in just such a position where they could be taken advantage of. And so we really wanted to just inform them about what human trafficking is, what they need to do to protect themselves and their families. And so that night was just really powerful and just really educational for us and for them. We also did a couple of hill tribe ministries. We went to a couple of the villages to also talk about human trafficking and what it looks like and how to prevent it, and just to make people aware of it. So in all, we spent 2 weeks in Mesa working with the Agape Children's Home.
From Mesa, we took a bus up to Mesa, which is the northernmost part in Thailand. There we were able to work with 4 different ministries, teaching English each day to the children, and also performing or doing Bible programs throughout the day. We also worked with a program called the Banana Center, which works with children who have either already been trafficked or at high risk for trafficking, provides an education and even a place to live there full time for the children. We were able to teach English, sports, music, and just fun stuff like playing games and making bracelets and stuff like that. So it was a good opportunity to pour into those kids' lives. We also worked with a drop-in center there, and the drop-in center would take in kids from Burma that were beggars on the bridge between Burma and Thailand. From 9 to 4 each day, the kids would come in and be able to learn about God, play games, and learn English, and different things like that. And also provide a meal at noon each day for the kids, and it really just gave them a place to be safe and not be on the street begging for money. Some of the kids there are in trafficking rings. Some of them are just have poor home life where they just need to beg for money for food to eat. some of them are supporting a parent's addiction or are just expected to bring home money. Some of them, when that doesn't happen, get beaten or tortured or things like that. And so to be able to provide a place for them to go that's safe was very important. And just to be able to pour into their lives and really learn about them was a great opportunity for us. We also, on that Friday, got to go into Burma, and they came through and showed us where they lived and invited us into their homes. And we got to pray with their families and you really just spend the day with them as their friends and as people that just love them. So in Mesa, we got to do lots of things. We also learned a lot about the civil war going on in Burma and just really got to know the community being there for 3 weeks and really just got to be a part of the culture there and be a part of what's going on in Mesa rather than just like a tourist group. So from there, we spent 3 weeks, and from there we drove down to Pattaya, and Anya's going to explain that a little bit.
Next, our team spent 10 days in Pattaya. Pattaya is known to be the sex capital of the world, and currently there are over 20,000 prostitutes working in the bars. We worked with a couple of different ministries, one being the Tamar Center. With the Tamar Center, we went out to the bars a couple of the nights, just building relationships with the women, and then inviting them to the Tamar Center for English classes. After the girls do a couple of the English classes, they can choose to go on and do a DTS. And after the DTS, the Tamar Center offers them a place to learn different vocational traits so that they don't have to go back into the bars. We also worked with a center called the Global Children's Awareness Center, and the center is actually in the process of opening. So our team had an opportunity to just get the building ready for the next month that they're hoping to open up. And the center is just basically going to offer a place for the children who are living in the red light district or whose moms are actually working in the bars. And the kids can just go there for the day to get them off the street so that they're not vulnerable to get trafficked or to be placed into child pornography or the different sex industries that are going on in there. We also got a chance to work with the Southern Cross, and this organization makes packets for the Chinese tourists who come into Pattaya so that they can take Bibles into China. We also got an opportunity to work with a ministry called The Crossing. And The Crossing is a skateboarding ministries that basically just takes the teenage guys off of the streets and give them a place where they can have good Christian influence and also just a place to skate and be guys. With this ministry, we also went to the prisons for a couple of days, just bringing water and food to the prisoners, and we were able to pray for them and just kind of hear their stories and where they were coming from. And we found that many of them were from the neighboring nations and were just coming to Thailand to find a job to provide for their families, and they were thrown in prison because they were fined by the authorities and were illegally working there. So yeah, that's kind of a rundown of what we did for the last 7 weeks. God did some amazing things, and we're all very thankful for the opportunity just to even be a part of His big plans. It was chaotic at times, but it all worked out in His plans, and we're also blessed to be able to be a part of that. So thank you for all your support, and thank you for all your prayers, and we look forward to sharing some more once we get back home.